All right, I think we're on. All righty, is everyone ready? All righty. This is my presentation about Lajuma bird monitoring and your role as a citizen scientist. Does anyone recognize that picture? You know it. A little bit about myself. I grew up in Colorado, United States. Got my degree in fish wildlife conservation biology from Colorado State University. And since then, I've had a couple cool jobs, like in Alaska as a fisheries technician, catching spawning salmon. I worked for the United States Forest Service as a biological science technician. And most recently, I've been a wildlife guide in Yellowstone National Park. And I had to highlight some wildlife, or some birds. The bald eagle with the salmon is a little blocked, but that's okay. This is the red-breasted sapsucker in California. They love these big, fat, old trees. And like you see all the lichen on them, they love it. They can't get enough of it. And then my favorite duck in Yellowstone, the harlequin duck. They're in the middle of the river. They're the cutest, most perfect ducks. And they're just in this raging river, and they're just picking off invertebrates and other small critters in the river. They're amazing. And there's other cool stuff in Yellowstone, like bears on bison carcasses and wolves, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about birds. Why birds? Birds are sick. Birds are awesome. Birds are gorgeous. Birds are goofy. I mean, look at this. The white-crowned lapwing with this wattle, like, come on. Like, you can't even make that stuff up. They have that as a sexual preference, right? That's a show of good genetics for the other white-crowned lapwings. Jackal buzzards, we see those all the time. Lilac-breasted roller. What, someone told me that's the most photographed bird in the world? Crazy. Mountain wagtails, perfect. Wouldn't change a thing. The jacana's hidden, but they're just like legends of the game, just like going across the lily pads with like their weird feet, man. But they're so cool. Okay, actually, why birds? Okay, so those are a little bit cucked there on the screen, but that's okay. 2.9 billion birds estimated lost since 1970 in North America. 600 million breeding birds lost in Europe since 1980. Then among South Africa's endemic bird species, what does it say? No one can read it. 9 out of 26 are threatened with extinction, and 48% of existing bird species worldwide are suspected to have population declines. So that's a big deal for someone who cares about birds and cares about the environment. That's, sounding the alarm, right? And the wattled cranes, we were fortunate enough to see these in Botswana at Natal, where the wattled crane population numbers have been declining, sitting somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000 individuals remaining. And the primary threat to wattled cranes is loss of habitat, being the most wetland dependent of all African cranes. And now wattled cranes have become nomads seeking water availability. So like new dams in Africa, floodplains changing. It's really like messing up their entire cycles of life. So they just have to find any water that they can find. So it's a big concern, the wattled crane. Now, why do we need birds? I mean, birds are great. We all know that, but like, why do we actually need birds? Birds pollinate plants. Birds control pests. Birds spread seeds. They prevent the spread of disease. They are economic drivers. They are indicators of ecosystem health as a whole. Big, 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 big deal. And nearly a quarter of the salvia species in southern Africa are bird pollinated, specifically by our sunbirds. This is right by manager's house. Estimated that birds eat 400 to 500 million tons of insects in a year. So if you hate bugs in your ear like me, shout out birds. And birds are also used as agricultural, like biological control for pests all among there. And And then, yeah, birds also carry seeds to cache sites, disperse them far across the landscape for other plant species that depend on birds for their seeds. Like in Yellowstone, we have this Clark's nutcracker. It's a corvid, it's a raven, it's a very smart bird. And I love talking about Clark's nutcracker when I'm in Yellowstone. It's got a long beak, and it's really good at picking out the seeds in the whitebark pine trees, which is now an endangered species in the Yellowstone area and North America. And the sole dispersion of this tree is via Clark's nutcracker, caching it all across the landscape. And it's believed that Clark's nutcracker have more than 50,000 cache sites, per breeding pair, which is just ridiculous. So they are single-handedly keeping this tree species alive, which is obviously where the whitebark pine is a massive food source for so many species in the Yellowstone, whether it's squirrels eating the seeds, bears eating the seeds, scratching on the seeds, building nests in the tree. It's huge. It's a whole trophic cascade scenario. So birds are very important to the landscape. Oh yeah, and vultures, they pick apart, they carry on and prevent the spread of disease I wrote it down, tuberculosis and rabies. This is crazy, I read this. Following the collapse of Asia's vultures, India's feral dog population surged by 5.5 million, spreading rabies and leading to an estimated of 47,300 human deaths since the collapse of the vulture. Very important. Economic drivers. These are the sandhill cranes in Nebraska. That's going on right now. My mom and I were there a year ago today. And in Nebraska, which is in central North America, it's this bottleneck of these sandhill cranes. It's the South Platte River. It's essential for this species. And it just provides awesome bird watching. This is from a blind. I mean, these are all sandhill cranes, pintail ducks, snow geese. It's awesome. But it's an economic driver. Spring migration season in 2025 reached $28 million. And it was only $14.3 million in 2017. And these small communities are completely dependent on tourism in these natural spaces where nowadays, the story is habitat loss, habitat fragmentation, all including Lajuma. This place has to generate money. How can we do that? And birds are one of the answers. People travel for the birds. It's very cool. Yeah. And then birds, yeah, they usually occupy high trophic levels in the food web and are influenced by changes in the environment, where their responses are excellent indicators or warnings in a changing environment. So the birds you're seeing are indicative of what is going on around you. And then Lajuma, Soutpansberg, background bird knowledge, little to none. This is from the first synthesis of environmental, biological, and cultural assets of the Soutpansberg from the legendary Ian Gallagher, 2003. And he said 510 indigenous avifauna in the Soutpansberg. And cited in that assessment, and as well from Lajuma, it's confirmed 100 species at Lajuma, and Adams Project for birds. That is all the bird research going on here, historically published or whatever. So that was very appetizing to me. I thought that was a very cool opportunity. So what am I doing for Lajuma for the past 3 months? Just been goofing around, checking out all the good stuff, checking out the birds, seeing everything else. I mean, you can't walk a meter without running into a new butterfly species. The lizards are running around everywhere. The Semango monkeys just goofing around all the time, the wood owls. And I love exploring every nook and cranny, seeing what this place has to offer. I've never been here before. This is crazy. I'm in Africa. All right. So this is my map. This is the project. I've skipped a lot, but it's okay. Yep. So this project is based off a project from the Bird Conservancy of the Rockies. They're actually based out of Fort Collins, where I went to university. It's from the Integrated Monitoring and Bird Conservation Regions, and they do a very similar thing where I have broken down the Lajuma Reserve into square kilometers, and then I've put a layer of points across the entire reserve, and they're each spaced 250 meters apart, with 16 of them within each transect. And I've only been able to survey 8 of these, this one, this one, this one, 7, 14, 10, 6, and 9. And that's just a small sample size. But yeah, this style of surveying is so appealing here and to other places in North America because of like limited access to land and like limited amount of technicians and volunteers to survey. So when you survey in a scenario like this, you can apply it to like multiple spatial scales and apply it to other environments and biomes across the landscape, across like large swaths of land, which I think is really cool. And I thought it'd be cool to replicate here and then potentially someday it could be, the statistics are still like firsthand. But anyways, it could be applied to the length of the Soutpansberg. So you can get an estimate of birds throughout the entire mountain range, which has never been done. All right. And then here is an example transect. This is 14. This is Chimney right here. So we do a point right at Chimney. This yellow track is actually our track doing the survey. This blue line, it's a bit faint with this projection, is the Lajuma boundary, so can't survey up there. And this is just the path I take to survey these points in 14. And what I do at each point is I sit and stand and watch and listen for 6 minutes at a time and recording every bird observation. It's very simple. There's no distance. You're just listening and looking and hearing. And once the 6 minutes is done, that's your survey, and then I move on to the next. All right. Now we got some results. So these are all the bird species detected at Lajuma. There's no chance anyone could read that. I would be shocked. But get familiar with these faces. Your dark-capped bulbul, your Cape Batis, there's a turco in the bottom left, and there's a bar-throated apelus in the top left. And those are each the 4 most occurring species. But total of 57 species I've recorded just on the survey alone. I haven't tallied the total number of species I've seen at Lajuma. I think it's somewhere in the 80s, something like that. But yeah, bulbuls and apelus just about everywhere. Who would have thought? And this is more of my survey efforts of my project. So if you can remember that transect map, this one here was like 15, and this is like the barn, right? And then this is the main road, and then we go up Chimney, and then this is the Leopard Trail. But you get the idea. I've done the managed one. It's the closest, it's the easiest. I wanted to get a larger sample size for one of these transects. But I'm checking out a little bit of everything, which I think is pretty cool. I've done 20 survey days, 149 surveys, which is just 149 point counts, and a total of 60 survey points. And then, yeah, so just to put that in perspective, I've spent 15 hours standing still and quiet, listening and looking for birds. And that's just the project. And I'm burning off the clock too, don't get me wrong. So it's spent a lot of time, what does it say, like species per hour, 3.8, yeah. Yeah, so some funny statistics there. Can't get enough of it. This one's very interesting. Bird species richness by vegetation type. Yeah, each box represents a different vegetation type. And the line in the middle is the median, like the typical number of species that occupy that habitat, where it's like the mist belt is in the most left, which has the most species observed so far. Each of these are the points that occupy that habitat. So again, very small sample size we're all seeing here, like 1, 12, 11, 14, and the one with the mist belt is 2. So it's like very small. So I need more data, right? That's kind of what I'm getting across here. But very interesting. I mean, Lajuma, the most species of bird you're going to find in the forest or on the savanna, whether it's open or closed, rocky, or short closed forest, whatever it may be, that's where you're going to find all your birds, all your robins, all your flycatchers, everything. And then these are the bird detections relative to sunrise, which I think is very interesting. Where, to my knowledge, like bird singing rates decline as the morning goes on. Like your best chances to get the most species, to hear the most birds is early in the morning, 30 minutes before sunrise, and maybe an hour words afterward. And that's somewhat true, but at the same time, I've talked to all the birdies here. Like it's pretty weird. Like I'll do my survey early in the morning, and I'll come back, and the bird observatory is just popping off. It's pretty crazy. So I'd be really curious to see how this trend continues for Lajuma. Just not what I expected. So that's been interesting. All right, so this is these are like my raw counts and then the model corrected occupancy. This is a little interesting where, let's see. Yeah, the blue is like the true raw count, and then the red is the model expectancy of where the species is occupied. Where like the shorter the bracket, right? Yeah, like the longer the bracket, the more the raw counts were like underestimating the species. Where the shorter the bracket, that's like pretty damn accurate, right? I mean, the bulbul is everywhere, the aplis everywhere. The batis, you're not seeing all the time, but it is everywhere, there's no doubt. Cisticola, it's a bit shorter, which I guess adds up. But then like a really difficult species to find, like some flycatchers in your trogon that I only detected one time, but it does obviously occupy this habitat. So that's why it has such a long bar. So it's been fun to just pick a couple species at a time of what I've surveyed and just to play with these. And this is just, the first return of some of these statistics. And this is why we use occupancy modeling over simple counts. So you can actually, get that count. Detection probability per site visit. Dark cap bulbul, who would have thought? Lazy cisticula, which is also rock whaling. Bar-throated apellis. But the brackets are the confidence intervals where where the model believes that's like the true detection probability is somewhere within that bracket, where like the bulbul is like almost pushing 100%, which is hilarious to me. And this is more just indicative of species like the flycatcher and like your boo-boo that are less than 50%. Like it's just like very difficult to detect them during this particular survey. So these are some of the returns with that. This was pretty interesting. Predicted occupancy along an elevation gradient. This is similar to Adam's project. But everything falls off really hard generally right at 1,500 meters, with the exception of the lazy or rock whaling cisticula, where like the further you go up the mountain, the more like you're hearing them. They're very generalist. They're just bouncing around everywhere. Graded double collared, you're going to hear them up there as well. But the sharpest decline is your ashy flycatcher. Like there's like pretty little to no chance you're going to hear that up there. That's just not its habitat at all. The Turco, you'll hear a bit just because how loud it is, and that goes into the occupancy model. And the apellis as well, big generalist, so it finds its way up there. And so these are just hand-picked species. They're like the most detected ones. But it's been fun to play around with that. So these are just the results so far. Small sample size, right? So this is me recruiting people to do the survey. I'm leaving, guys. You got to help me out. No, it's great. The greater the sample size, the better. And there's other cool projects you can contribute to as well. Like the South African Bird Atlas. That one's cool. Maps the distribution of birds across several South African countries. South Africa, Lesotho, Botswana, Namibia, Mozambique, Eswatini, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. Same kind of thing. Just aims to map the distribution and relative abundance of birds in Southern Africa. In the bottom left, it's kind of blocked off. But May 9th is eBird's global big day. Global big day, so it's something everyone can participate in. Put it on your calendars. And you can submit multiple checklists that day. And their observations help better understand global bird populations. And last year, Global Big Day collected more data about birds in a single day than ever before. More than 1.7 million people participated, observed more than 7,900 species, a new world record. And just if you're counting, there's only been, the newest checklist recognizes 11,131 species of birds in the world. So it's cool, be a part of it, change your life. And here it's an opportunity to collect data for a long-standing research project, build data organizing skills, contribute towards bird monitoring at Lajuma. It's cool, and you can take it home. You know, South Africa, Europe, North America, I don't know, wherever you want to go. Everybody's a birder. I've had a couple discussions with people who weren't birders at first, but everyone's a birder, right? The bustard, red Elvane? Dude, the bird rocks. Are you kidding me? It's the largest flying bird in the world. It's crazy. It's so cool. Southern Carmine bee eater, gorgeous. Yellow-billed storks, kind of can't see it. How to flex the eBird page, and we're going to eBird, track your species list. I am at 462 as of last night, which is pretty cool. 225 of those in the Eastern Hemisphere, which is crazy because I've been here once. It's been epic. Everyone is a birder. And there's a bird out there for everybody. The birding community, it rocks. It's fucking great. Here's Adam birding real hard. The birding memes are incredible. This one's my favorite about, shall we plan our annual bird meeting? How about 7 a.m.? Everyone's stoked about it, but the owl is just not having it. Yeah, become a legendary birder. We've watched this here, Listers, hilarious documentary. Just go, it's not only bird watching, it's people watching, it's just the lifestyle. You'll meet the weirdest people, you have the craziest conversations, and you'll see epic birds. It's amazing. And there's birding influencers for sure that just go birding and just they're hungover and they're not going birding. I don't know. There's just so many people like that. It's hilarious. It's a young person thing as well. I swear. I swear to God. Teenage birding has grown from 1 million to 3 million in the US between 2016 and 2022. It's going up. So it's a trend. It's cool. We're cool. And there's just some highlight pictures of being a cool birder. So be like this. This one, there was a Varose eagle owl in Kruger, and I was in the back seat, and I had to go up to get the shot. This is me eating a rusk before we go into the bird hide at Camarano Sanctuary. And just being a legendary birder, man.
What are you holding?
This?
No, next. Left.
I'm pointing. This one?
No, right behind your finger. No, one in between.
In the middle.
Up. There. That one.
This?
Yes.
I'm like pointing at a bird.
Where do you see a hand?
It looks like you're doing this.
Are you doing the shadow? You're following the shadow, right? Yeah. It's just one hand. That's just one hand.
It's such a random photo.
Shout out Neela if she ever sees this. Neela got some epic pictures of me birding. Yeah. No, birding's great. Birding is challenging. I never have had a greater mental stimulation when in the field and trying to identify birds. It really pushes your brain to the limit. It's really cool. I'm not even kidding either. I'm a funny guy, but no joke. And that rolls over into your everyday life. You're more stimulated. It just helps me think. Birding is a distraction, you know? There's all shit going on in everyone's life. Take a walk in the woods. You're thinking about a lot of sad shit. Everyone's got sad shit. But you hear a turco, you hear a flycatcher, you hear a robin, man. You forget about it for a little bit. It's great. It's medicine. It really is. yeah. So once you're in it, can't come out. Yeah, that's my presentation. I think if it goes to good hands, I'm willing to donate my little USB microphone to Lajuma if people want to continue collecting audio recordings here. There's a lot of weird stuff here, so you could get a lot of good stuff.
Careful what you record.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, any questions? Thank you.